Visto che questo menù l'abbiamo concordato ieri con lo chef, a lei desidero chiedere degli abbinamenti per ogni portata con vini diciamo tranquilli, fermi, va bene?
The same menu I have. This one.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to our restaurant. Besides to recommend some wines, can I offer some water? I would like to advise you very light and still water from Japan. We call it Fie. It's very light. That would be a nice interest for your dinner. Then, as an aperitif, also very light and could be an interesting choice. It's also tranquil. It's not bubbly. Could be also remaining in that area of the world. A fantastic product. We call it sake. That could from the top quality Daijinjo Shu, that will be served around 12 degrees. That is one very crystal with a lot of minerality, very pure. That will go with the sea side, the sea flavor, the yield flavor of the oysters with of the oysters clear, which are completely refreshing. It will be, in my opinion, I hope that will be suits to you. Then for spaghetti al pomodoro, a quite traditional way is the primi piatti in Italy. Very refreshing dish, but has two textures. It has the consistency of pasta. Usually, I believe it's fresh pasta. That will be very tasty, very smooth, and the acidity and the powerful aroma of the tomato, probably with a little bit of basil on it low, with the touch of salt just to enhance all the flavors. For that, I'll go for probably a rosé wine. Could be a very chiaretto from the Veneto region, like Bardolino chiaretto. That will be very served around 8-10 degrees, very refreshing, very perfumed with the amount actually not light-bodied, but especially the refreshing light tannins that it has. I think will suit nicely. Hope that will go nice with you. Then we have a goulash. It's a veal goulash. Cooked with vegetables, potatoes and paprika. Gulasch is a typical dish from Eastern Europe, especially from Hungary, and it's kind of a very flavored stew. For that, I'll go for a kind of original wine. That will be a Cabernet Sauvignon from 97, from Hungary state, call it Katarzyna state, the reserve, 97. It's a wine with already very mellow in the mouth, very perfumed, with enough body for the goulash, because it also has a fruity side, because goulash has a sweet scent of the sauce. It's very aromatic because of the vegetables, and also potato is very typical from that kind of country that brings fantastic texture, and the wine has all the body for that. Has is full bodied. Those Cabernet Sauvignon at this stage are very mellow, very round, with a fantastic aftertaste, because they are fermented with a special technique and in oak. Then they are kept more or less 12 months in oak, but it's completely very well made. It's not oaky. It's very complex right now. But the main points, the wine has the richness and the complexity and the freshness for this dish. I'm just proposing to you to serve all these wines by glass. Otherwise, if you have full bottles for a whole meal, you probably will become a little bit tight. But I think because I have a fantastic wine list with wines by glass, so I can handle. If there's another bottle that you probably suits better for you, just tell me. I have no problem to open another bottle for you. Okay. for the coq au vin. Coq au vin, it's a classic dish from classic cuisine from France. It's very rich, and this coq has a very tasty flavor with all the wine that brings a great richness, and all the cloves, all the spices on there. It's cooked like in casseruola, so usually low cooking temperature, long time. That will bring all the flavors to mix together slowly. That will bring a very good blend of flavors. That I'll go for. Also full-bodied wine, but more on the elegance and complexity style. I'll give you a wine from Bordeaux, for instance, from the Saint-Julien commune. That could be Leuville-Barton 96, already still round, very round, with a fantastic complexity, with the spices, with very juicy wine, with the Cabernet, with a little bit of Merlot, completely mellow. So I have a dish with complexity and elegance. You have a wine with a little bit of power, elegance, and fantastic aftertaste. That will be for this dish. For the Sacher Torte, the chocolate pie with apricot jam, dark chocolate, and top and side, and top and sides. There's plenty of wines that suits very well with that, but a fantastic wine comes from an area that I know very well. It could be a port wine. A port wine, but a wine with some evolution, a style that has not only the fruity side, that because of the chocolate is always sometimes made with no discretion with port wine. And I'll go for a tawny, a 30 years old tawny. Has already a fantastic balance of very dry fruit, with a lot of caramelized orange that goes with the apricot jam, because it's sweet but acidity. And the wine has a fantastic freshness, even though I will serve it around 14 degrees just to keep the freshness of wine. You don't feel too much the alcohol. As you know, it's a fortified wine that has alcohol between 19 and 22 degrees, and that could be a nice transition. That could be a nice transition for the coffee and digestives. For coffee, I can suggest you.
Manuel, frettati che c'è la domanda che continua, mancano pochi secondi.
Sì, sì. E
adesso in maniera